Afternoon, Good Shepherd. It's Wednesday, June 8th, 2022. Glad to be with you on this Wednesday between Pentecost Sunday and Trinity Sunday. And then we get into the long green season of Pentecost until Advent. A lot going on during that time. So just a few updates and announcements today. Nothing big, serious, unless the change in service schedule is serious. Actually, I want to spend some time talking about that. So beginning this coming Sunday, as we've announced for some time, we'll be going to one in-person service only. And that will be at 9 o'clock in the sanctuary. There will be music. It will vary from week to week as to who our special musicians are, but it will be a great morning service. That will be in person only. It will not be live stream, Zoomed, or whatever. At 7:45 on Sunday mornings, just as it has been for quite some time, we will be doing a Zoom service from the chapel. It will just be me and a reader. This is not necessarily a service that people are invited to come to. This is really a place where folks who are unable to be with us at 9 o'clock can hear the lessons and hear the sermon. So it will be a morning prayer service, like we did during much of COVID. There will be lessons. I will preach a full sermon. I've got to write it anyway, so why not? No, I really want to. A full sermon, as I've been doing for quite some time. If we have guest preachers, it will be up to them as to whether or not they want to do that sermon at 7:45. But at 7:45, we'll have morning prayer with sermon. And that will be Zoom, and the link should be the same link, and you will see that coming out in the e-news. So that's at 7:45, and then at 9 o'clock, regular service. There will be some changes during the summer. What we're going to do is the service of the Word that we have had with you, that we normally have with the Eucharist, where we have lessons in a psalm and some songs. We will do that, only we will use the form for morning prayer. This is authorized by the prayer book. It's just fine. Many of you may not even notice, except that the psalm comes first. And so a lot of people really like the format of morning prayer when we did it. So this is a way that is fine with the prayer book, that we do morning prayer, and then at the offertory, we will shift into the Eucharist. So like I say, most people won't notice much difference. There will just be some slight variations. And then for the Eucharistic prayer during the summer, we will use a couple of forms that we've never used before. They are out of the Church of England's Book of Common Worship. It's their version of the sort of 1979 prayer book. The official prayer book for the Church of England is still the 1662 prayer book. They know that language has changed and some other things have changed. So they've authorized these services. And this was adopted by the Church of England back in 2000. So these are not brand new. They're a little newer than the ones for our 1979 book. But we'll use a couple of the Eucharistic prayers from there. And it'll give us a little bit of a variety over the course of the summer. So that's what's coming up this coming Sunday in terms of worship. As we have also been announcing for quite some time, this coming Sunday, following the 9 o'clock service, so beginning about 10:30, we will have this wonderful opportunity for the congregation to gather together and explore each other's and our own gifts. The gifts that the Spirit has given us, gifts that we have acquired, talents that we have acquired, experiences that we have acquired over the course of our lives, and discover how those mesh with each other and how they may be used for mission. It will be a fun time. And we've been talking about it for quite some time. We had a really wonderful skit last Sunday, done at both the 7:45 and 10:30 service. Unfortunately, neither one of those were broadcast worthy, either for some technological reasons, and that's sad, but it was great. Many of you saw those. So this Sunday, it's not too late to register. You can even show up, but it's helpful for us to know to plan for the meal. The meal will be catered, as you've heard, and children are welcome. All ages are welcome. We're looking forward to a great time of fellowship, getting to know one another better, in many, many different ways. And then lastly, want to just sort of alert you to what will be happening for Faith Forum, at least for these last 2 weeks, not this coming Sunday, that's all about Gathered and Gifted, but for Sunday the 19th and Sunday the 26th of June. What I will be doing is offering on the 19th a discussion of about making bioethical decisions. Now, it sounds pretty daunting, but we do it all the time, and we hear about it all the time. Whether it's should we be cloning animals? Should we be genetically modifying crops? What about physician-assisted suicide? All of those things are bioethical decisions, and like I say, we make them all the time as a society. Scientists and philosophers have come up with some ideas about how we make those decisions, but they don't always take faith into account. And so I'm going to spend an hour or so, or a little less, talking about how do we make bioethical decisions, especially as we do it coming out of Christian perspective, specifically an Anglican perspective. I hope you'll find it worthwhile your time. So that will be at following the 9 o'clock service, so probably around 10:15 on Sunday, the 19th, and we will make sure that it is Zoomable. We'll probably do it like we have done the ones over the last few weeks, where it's sent out from the chapel, and we'll make sure that if folks want to participate from home, they can. On Sunday the 26th, we're going to do something kind of different from that. Many of you may know or remember that when Desmond Tutu, Archbishop Desmond Tutu died, he chose a green burial. He was not planted in the ground. He was not cremated. He chose a green burial. And the Creation Care Task Force of the Diocese of Colorado was fortunate enough a few weeks ago to have a presentation done by a professor, an Episcopalian, who's also a professor of environmental studies at Warren Wilson College in North Carolina. And she's written a book called Our Last Best Act, Planning for the End of Our Lives, in ways that take account of our values and the values of the earth. What I will do on the 26th is show the video of her giving this conversation. It's all about what are our options for what happens to us after we die. Are there options beyond in-ground burial? Are there options beyond cremation or regular burial, but in a mausoleum? What are our other options, and what are available to us in Colorado? I was really, really intrigued by what she had to say, and it's making me rethink some of my ideas and plans about the end of my life. So that will be on Sunday, June 26th, again at around 10:15, going for about an hour. And we will do those both in person and then make them available online. That's really it for today. I look forward to seeing you Sunday at church, and then to stay later for the Gathered and Gifted. Again, if you want to make sure that we have you down for somebody who's going to eat, the sign-up form has been available online in the last several e-newses, and will come out again tomorrow. So I wish you well the rest of this warm week. And again, I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Bye-bye.